Word, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Lil Bukkit. Welcome back to BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast. Y'all see my guest. It's your boy, HooperTurntSanger. You just want to let everybody know where to get your socials.
HooperTurntSanger on everything. Hooper, TURNTSANGER. Usually heavy on the gram and Facebook and, Spotify, the same shit.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. And you just dropped a project, right?
I did. I had a project that I dropped, but we took it down. Not the JJ one. The JJ one we kept up, but the other thing I put up was a 3-song EP. We took it down because we put the wrong mixes up. So,
okay. I was wondering about that, actually. We'll get into that a little bit later. But what should people be checking out right now that you got going on? What's popping right now?
We just did a single we just released. We recorded it and then released it and shot the video called Young JJ. So we got the audio on Spotify everywhere, and then we put a video we put up as well on YouTube.
Well, you can all check that out on the streaming services on Spotify. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
The way I like to start off my show is I like to get into just a little bit of like who you are as an artist and how you got into hip hop. Like, what inspired you to start rapping, bro?
Honestly, like my dad really, like my dad always he always like made jingles and rhymes and stuff when we were kids, and like it might have been corny, but it always got me into like a rhyming process. And then I used to hear any song, and then I used to just kind of make my own rhymes out of it. And then I'd really say Tupac got me into rap. Like my sisters listen to, like Cypress Hill, but they're more like R&B. So it was like, I'd get the Cypress Hill and kind of like, that kind of early rap. And then I was just kind of meh. But it was mainly Tupac that really helped me with the whole like engaging me emotionally with like his storytelling and his impact. It really made a mark on me with the rap shit. So that's kind of how I got introduced to rap and started liking rap. But then after that, it was just like just being around the homies and drinking and partying, and then just kind of rapping at school parties and shit like that.
So your name is Hooper, right? Like HooperTurntSanger. Does that mean like you were more of a streetball legend, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I went by Ghost. Ghost was my nickname ever since I was a little kid from basketball, because it was, you can't see him on the, I mean? I had a basketball nickname, and then I ended up playing basketball at a really high level at a prep school in Toronto, and then I got a full athletic scholarship to a school in the States in Memphis. And then I was pursuing my basketball dreams. And then in the meantime, I just had my own little online thing going with YouTube videos, and I built up a name like that. And then I started touring with like all the N1 players across the world. And then recently I dropped an album called HooperTurntSanger. And then I was doing a marketing push and stuff. And one of the people on my team was like, we need to switch the name up. Ghost is a marketing disaster, right? So we were like,
100 Ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in the rap shit. Like in the basketball shit, there's only one Ghost. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But in the rap game, there's so many, right?
Way too many. So it was like, but it is what it is, because that's what, like, there's people around the world who don't know my name, like homies that I grew up with, like they know my name, but they don't, like, I remember someone will be like Mike, and they'll be like, what? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But Ghost is just me. People still call me Ghost. Like when someone calls me Hooper, I'm kind of like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm learning it. So yeah, so HooperTurntSanger. I went for basketball. Now I do my little sang thing. So
how'd you get into basketball? Did you just play around the neighborhood, or?
I was a hockey player. I grew up playing hockey. I was like phenomenal at hockey, like amazing at hockey.
Basketball.
And then yeah. And then my mom, we didn't have much money, and in about 8th grade, my mom was like, we're taking you out of hockey. You're not doing good in school. So I was like, all right. So I just wanted to channel my energy towards something. A good friend of mine, Levon, was trying out for the basketball team, and he was like, come on, it's free. I was like, fuck it. So that's when I kind of was like, I'm going to start hooping. And then I just enjoyed the entertainment aspect.
In school, they kind of like let you kind of go around your schoolwork, and the games, they're not really while you're doing school, Hockey, you kind of like, they got a whole season. It's after school. You got so much time. Like your homework gets involved. It starts getting damaged, I guess you could say, just from how much time you're spending at hockey, right?
For sure.
It's dedication, that thing. Like if you're gonna be good at hockey, that's all you're gonna play.
Exactly. And I was cool with that, but it was just like, my heart was broken when I couldn't play no more. I actually was like, fuck life, fuck everybody. I'm gonna do something. You know what I mean? And basketball is that. So
So after you started touring and stuff, and you kind of built your name up, what was your idea with going with HooperTurntSanger when you branded that? Did you have like a management team that helped you brand this, or?
It was somebody who's really close to me on like the administrative side of things, who was like, we were applying for an award show as well as a grant. And it was like I had like 3 hours to pick a name. And like the whole Ghost thing was like, I didn't give my name Ghost. Like my first nickname for streetball was like White Magic. It was the worst name ever. So I never wanted to give my name. And so Ghost was given to me. And it's just me, you know, but yeah, it
Yeah.
was like I had no idea. I didn't want to name myself. That's kind of like a fuckboy thing to do, is like, yeah, I'm gonna go by Zordon. You know what I mean? Like, no, it doesn't work like that. And then my homie was like, well, just why don't you go by HooperTurntSanger? And I thought about it, and I was like, I was so invested in that project, and it like really helped me find my voice. So I just figured like, fuck it, I'm gonna take that challenge on, of actually branding that. And it's like something that I've really became more like living, because I've been playing more basketball. I've been taking my music shit more serious. I know that I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? I have this like, I just make music, and I could sing and rap, and you know what I mean? So I'm cool with the name. At first it was tough to like, I'm like, what am I doing? Right. But then I was like, now I'm like, I'm embracing the challenge of really letting people know who the fuck I really am. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a big part of being an artist,
Mhm.
is being able to be in touch with your audience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now, when when do you think that you really decided that you were going to go serious with the music stuff? Was it like right after you started, like you got off of the basketball train, or?
Well, what happened with the basketball thing is I had a manager at the time, and there was a little financial discrepancies going on, and I was
Right,
at
right.
a 2 year deal left with her where she would take 20% no matter if she got me the stuff or not. So I kind of put the ball to the side without like really wanting to put it to the side, so that my hard headedness was like, she ain't getting shit from me. So I just started doing music because I always recorded a little bit. Um, but really the last like 2 3 years is when I was like, this shit could really work. You know what I mean? Like at first it was so hard for me to win over people who know me for being this basketball entertainer who's like, that's been my life. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like now getting nominated for these awards and things like that, and getting grants and touring with all these people, and like now I'm getting paid for a lot of this stuff. It's just like, now I'm like, you know what? This shit's actually why I'm here, is the entertainment thing. And that's when I was
There's
like,
no
that's two,
difference
3 years.
being an entertainer, right? And a lot of people don't understand that it is getting grants is a big part of the process, and you got to get paid somehow, right? So,
Yeah,
uh,
we're really independent and self-funded with everything, but when you can
yeah,
get a $20,000 marketing grant, it helps a lot.
because I mean, some people can, just build up a brand and then build up a fan base, and sell the merch and invest and slowly build their way up. That's how a lot of guys do it the independent way, but it's a hustle that way. You really gotta spend a lot of time, and
Yes.
invest your time, and you can't take a day off.
Yeah.
Right? Not to say that getting grants and that stuff is not a hustle, but it's a smarter way to go.
Yeah,
It,
and but you know what? The grant system too. I know people who have put their eggs in that basket and never got the grants, and it's like
you
you
get
could have
that,
took all that money and put it somewhere else, right? So
probably.
it's hit or miss.
Yeah, it's got to be something that that it's going to be a solid investment if you do go that route.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's dope that paid off. Now, have you ever like considered doing like battle rap or anything, or have you done any
100%.
battles like
100%.
yeah, yeah? Explain to me kind of like your battle style.
I'm a huge battle rap fan. Like like even before I was doing rap, I was watching battle raps. Like I love battle rap. I know
Right.
fucking almost everything about. Not I won't say that because there's people who could trump me in battle rap, but you'd be surprised how much of a fucking battle rap head I am. I don't my style like when we get into little ciphers and shit, and like I could
Right.
really go for the throat if I had to sit, because I don't write my music. I just like, I'm
You'll
not saying I
freestyle,
just freestyle every
right?
song, but my
Like,
format of writing is a freestyle form where I just turn the mic on and yeah, and I just go. So if I could sit and pen some shit and I know some, and it's like I'm getting paid 5-10 bands to do it like these guys are getting paid now, I would definitely, I know I could go in on some people. But my style, when we're just fucking around and someone says something in a little cipher, I'm like, okay, I'm just witty off the top, kind of, catch them, rhyme little words because I got a decent vocabulary, rhyme little words and little ways of saying it to like catch people
Yeah.
off guard. But it's different when it's off the top in front of someone or when you got 3 months or 6 weeks or whatever to write. So
Yeah,
I'd probably be
time to write. It's a big difference than just going off the top, and that's even been proven in battle rap because they don't do off the top events anymore. It's all you have to write because of the amount of people who don't have that off the top skill.
and
It's
that's why
intense.
I think I would be successful is because I know I could come with 6, 8 bar rebuttals after rounds and then go into my written shit or flip it in the middle. Like I'm witty like that. So yeah, I think I would just be smooth, clever, witty. I could be aggressive. I have some songs out there that was like a rap battle call out for some people. It was a $10,000 call out I did.
Yeah, I saw
It was
that.
for someone in specific where they didn't take it, and then it ended up getting attention from guys like Pat Stay, different guys who were, you know what I mean? They're like, "Well, I'll do it. Let's get it." Right. So it was like it kind of worked out to be a good little marketing ploy. But
No, yeah, that was good. That was smart. Now, describe to me your music style just a little bit. When you
um,
go into the booth, what are you trying to say on a mic?
I honestly ask any producer I work with. I say like they're always hit me on FaceTime, like, "Yo, check this beat." I tell them, "Look, if you play it right now, I'm gonna end. Email it to me, mail me the key, the tempo, and then the first thing I do is I just put the headphones on, I hit record, and my first time listening to it, I'm already recording on it, and I just
Yeah,
kind of hum out melodies, or I'll rap some freestyle, kind of not really saying anything, but just getting the like tapa de fo, da 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 do, like finding what I want to do, and then I
melodies.
get little pockets. Yeah, and then I'll go back and fill things in if I want. But really, honestly, I just try and be on, and I feel that's the best way to be genuine and authentic is just because when I used to write like 50 words that rhymed and then try and make it into a verse. And I just like, I'd be saying shit that wasn't fully what I was. And now it's like, if I'm coming off the top and I'm saying shit, it's like authentic and it's really me because it's so fresh in my mind. If I just lost $1,000 that day, I'll talk about lose my hand, a couple of bands or whatever, right? Like I'm not worried about anything, and I don't really care anymore what people think about my music because there is a nice handful of people out there who every time I drop something resonate with it and appreciate it. So it's really those people who I do it for. So you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm not really overthinking it too much.
big time.
I just try to make people happy and like do what Pac did for me, which is like help me through certain times where, I could listen to his catalog and there's a song for every emotion. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what
Totally.
I'm on.
Yeah, man. Now, when you when you make like an EP or an album, do you decide if you're gonna do 10, 5, 3 songs? How do you make your track list? What's your mindset for that?
So right now I probably have like 120 songs like just done sitting in my vault.
I can
And
imagine with you how quick you can write tracks. You probably have a ton just in the bag.
yeah. Now all of them might not be released, but like for example, so I have a friend of mine I work with, Nav, right now. We're sitting at his house recording and stuff, and then he was looking at all my songs, like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "It's time to start releasing this shit." And I'm like, "I know, but I want to do visuals." And then so we sat down and made a rollout. So we looked at all the songs we like. So right now we have a project called And One, which I had to take down, but that's a
Yeah,
3-song EP. Because in basketball, when you get a layup and foul, you get an extra shot for a 3-point play. So that's kind of how my form is, a 3-point. So I got 3 songs on And One. Then we have a couple rollouts or a couple singles releasing in the middle, and then we have another EP called 4-Point Play, which is a 3-point And One. So that's gonna have 4 songs. And then we're gonna have a couple songs in the middle, and then I got an album coming out. So I never really decide. Usually I just go in and whatever my newest shit is that like my girl and my homies are like, "Yo, you gotta put the," I'll throw those on the thing. But JJ came about, we were playing 2K and I was the Pelicans and JJ was shooting it. And I was like, "Oh, I'll shoot it on him, baby." And I just said it. And then I was like, "Fuck it, we need to make a song about JJ, right?" Because I love JJ. It was not even in our rollout. And then we're like, "We gotta release it tomorrow. We gotta do a video." That's why the video is not as like intricate and like crazy, but it's like quality, you know what I mean? So I really
that's
just go off of emotion. Whatever I feel at that time, I'll put it out. I don't overthink it too much.
I think people could really feel raw emotion, and that's something that a lot of people they don't think about when they make their music videos or something stuff like that. They direct it really well and they get it, looking amazing. They bring all the smoke bombs and they set it up and they have all this crazy shit going on.
Oh, hold on. We good? All right. Look, I got smoke bombs right here. I haven't used them yet. What the fuck? Who keeps calling? Stop calling me. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, and then but people get it all planned out, and it just sometimes it doesn't quite translate to what you wrote for your direction or what you had in mind, and then the raw stuff sometimes comes out the best, man.
Yes, I agree. And I think with my background in the street ball thing, it's the same format as music, which is go hone your skills, go perform your skills, film your performance, take it home, edit it, give it to the masses. And that's the same with this. Like I did that with I have over 120 videos online of basketball shit. Now with this, it's like make the music, do this, go perform, record it, do a video. I do all my videos. I do everything myself, my mixing, my recording, my master, everything myself. So I just go off of just making it like my palette. Like if I paint something, I go sell it right away or I'd put it out. So not too much thought. So it's kind of easier now. I just got to learn how to get a little better at the technical stuff. And you know what I mean? Like people like that, they'll prepay someone for a video and then have no say, have no vision, have no nothing. So it's like, you ask anyone I work with, like, I'm super hard headed. I'm like, I'm not changing that. They're like, trust me. I'm like, no, trust me. I did that for a reason. You know what I mean? And whether we bump heads, which we don't, because luckily what's that?
You're like, I pre-thought this out. Like, it's my vision.
Exactly. And luckily, like, we don't bump heads, but like, there's moments where the animosity or the tension gets a little high. And then after, when everything's done, I'm a pretty decent guy. I'll be like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean, like, no, bro, it's your shit. So I got a great team of people who just see my vision as I see it. And also when there is a vision that's seen that I wasn't thinking of, I'm super like receptive to it. And I'm okay with adding that into my stuff because I know that it's not all about, like, you know what I mean? It's not just what I see. As long as my message gets across, I'm happy.
Yeah, big time. One thing I was going to say about your writing style is when you were talking about how you started kind of, you would write out like 50 words that, they all go together, they all rhyme together really well, but then you would write something that doesn't really make a lot of sense. That's a really good writing technique that a lot of people don't realize they're doing. Yeah. And it's really building your skills because you're getting to the point where you've got all these, songs you've done, and then you can look back on them and then you can really say, oh, you can like, what the fuck was I saying?
Yeah.
And that kind of opens your mind to, hey, the next time I write, maybe my setup can be a little bit more like involved with my punchline, and you can find ways to have better structure, and you really become a much better writer when you do things like that. And a lot of kids, that are going to watch this, they'll think, how can I become a better writer? And doing things like that are going to be great techniques to build.
Yeah, I don't mean to knock it, but it just wasn't for me because I was saying things that just weren't my life. So, like, I have a really good mentor. His name's AO, SoTO on Instagram. He's like a super professional photographer. He's so successful. And he told me one time, he said, don't say anything, say something. So I've always stuck by that. And like that writing technique definitely helped me realize, like even these days, I'll say something in my music that was a rhyme I might have done, never put out, but I thought of in that format, and like little words, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a building process. Not everybody can come out and hit threes right
away. I think mostly the point of it is so you can learn that lesson that you just said your buddy kind of put into that simple like 4 words. Yeah. Don't say anything, say something.
Exactly.
That's a really good way to put it, man. And it might take someone, a year, 2 years of doing those techniques to learn that, because they might not get that message out of, even just listening to this.
And the crazy thing is he never told me that about my music. He told me that about just life. Like, you know what I mean? Before I even did music. And that message always resonated and it always stays with me. And I pass it on anywhere I can because it's one of the most amazing and incredible things I've ever added into my life walk. You know what I mean?
Now, something that I haven't asked a lot of my guests, but I want to start asking more is, what kind of books are you into? What kind of books do you like?
Bruh, I haven't read a book since like 10th grade. Lord of the Flies. Like, I don't.
No, it's good to know. Like, a lot of people, some aren't into books. Some people are into books. But my question, I asked that question for a reason because when was the last time you gifted someone a book?
I haven't gifted anyone a book because I feel like that would be like me writing the 50 words out, and it's not really that's not my life, right?
Yeah.
So say I read a sick book, 48 Laws of Power, whatever, and I'm like, yo,
right?
Yeah, so I would be like, yo, you really need to read this. But there is a couple books like that people have told me but I just got this crazy ADD. I can't sit there and read. That's why I had troubles in school. Is like, I'm a smart guy, but from eyes to paper, paper to eyes to brain to pencil, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I just seek knowledge in different ways. Like I watch things that I need to learn about and I learn that way. But books, like I definitely got to read one. It's something I've been thinking about a lot. But yeah, I don't read books. I'm not gonna front.
No worries, brother. One book that I would recommend that you check out is just "Discipline is Freedom" by Jocko Willink.
Discipline is freedom. Let me write that down real quick.
He's a U.S. Marine. He taught Marines for I think 10 years, and he was in the force for 20 years. And the guy's really helped me a lot with some of his stuff that he's done. I've read and just listened to on his podcast, and
crazy,
great book.
I'll definitely I'll read up what it like a synopsis or whatever it is. But
just peep them. It's dope.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And someone else told me they're like, because when you're touring and you're always on the road, you should just play audiobooks or whatever. And I'm like, that's fucking smart as hell. Because I could sit there and listen to shit. Like I'll listen to Joe Budden for 2 hours, but I won't go read now. You know what I mean? So it's like I get it.
This audiobook is actually on Spotify.
There you go. Then I'll probably listen to it.
You probably listen to it that way, and that's if that's how you got to get to it. I mean, that's dope. Get the knowledge however you're gonna get it. It's really, really dope shit.
Dope. I appreciate that. I'll definitely do that because even with like mixing and shit like that or video editing, I watch a lot of tutorials, and I'll even go to sleep with one on and like really like if I'm trying to learn some EQing shit, I'll sleep to EQing and try and like see what I retain, and it works. I fucking
really cool, man. That's really cool because I sleep to piano and stuff. Like I just sleep to stuff that calms me down, or like guitar because like I play guitar, so like stuff that I kind of relate to, right? And that's a really dope kind of way to look at listening while you're sleeping is stuff you want to learn. I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah, and honestly, it's helped me. Like my mixing game might not be the best, but it's like went from here to like definitely here in the last few months when I started doing that.
Bro, just to give you a little glimpse into my mixing, like I just went from Audacity to Pro Tools.
Oh shit!
And I just started checking out YouTube tutorials. So like I'm really gonna figure out this mixing game. But oh man, did I ever realize what I just stepped into?
Something I learned is less is more, man. I used to do so much high end boosting and low end cutting that I'm like, why am I mixing so shit? And then I started like reversing it all and not doing that. And I'm like, whoa, these shits are sounding a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely less is more.
Little things here and there, and it's mostly, I've noticed like with my reverb, if I get it too wet, it just doesn't sound like much is happening.
Are you using it through a bus or are you throwing it straight on?
I bust it. Yeah, I bust it on.
Cool. Okay, just keep toying with it.
Yeah, I haven't EQ'd my reverb. That might be what I'm doing.
That helps. I know people who do that, but I know people who do that and I also hate their reverbs. And I'm like, it's because they're fucking EQ they put on it. Like,
what tutorials would you recommend on YouTube for mixing? Because I listen to Wavy Wayne. That's my go-to guy. I like his
I forget the guy's name, but I usually just Google or YouTube exactly what the fuck I'm looking for, and whoever's got. I watch more than one all the time. Like I watch 3 different ones, take what each person does the same, add. It's like religion. I'm not just one religion. I pay attention to all religions and follow what I believe in.
Beautiful, yeah. I think the greatest thing about looking for stuff with mixing is using specific keywords, like you said, with you want to find out what kind of EQ you want. Like look into high pass filters and see how they work. Don't just look at the whole, because there's like if you got a 7-band EQ you're using, there's a lot of different frequencies and that's a lot of knowledge you're gonna have to.
And there's a difference between. Yeah, there's a difference between EQing ad-libs, EQing mains, EQing singing, EQing reverb, EQing, You know, auto-tune vocals, like there's so many different ways around it. You can't just go EQing and then you got some dweeb showing you one thing that's like for rock bands and it doesn't work for you.
Yeah, one thing that really kind of threw me through the loop is I was just hoping to find like you know a 7-band EQ and then just go and find a preset and go to vocal EQ.
I did that.
And I'm like, oh man, these are just I can't do that.
It depends what microphone you're using, what type of, like I'm recording Mad Child's new project, and like I'm doing all the mixing, all the recording, and it's like I had to relearn because he has such a high-end dominant voice and I'm more of a low end. So now I'm like, what the fuck? His shit's not sounding, but he loves it. But now that I'm figuring out, okay, he's got a high-end voice, let me fuck with his, you know what I mean? Boost his lows a little more, make it thicker.
Definitely.
So it really just comes down to trial and error. Unless you do it over and over again, you're really not gonna learn. Repetition.
That's big. That's big. Now, you talk a little bit about doing video production. What got you into that? And like, have you just always wanted to like make your own videos, or
my same friend Levon, who we did basketball tryouts together, he was into skating, and he did skate videos. So I kind of was like interested because of that. And then I was like, I'm going to apply this to my basketball. So then I had to learn how to edit and chop shit up to put on the internet, because I used to study my game after. So I'd record my games and then I would watch them for hours. So then I was like taking all the highlights and putting them to the side. And then I was like, why don't I put this as a highlight clip? And then every time I'd play, I'd film it. So I had to quickly learn how to get it from camera to computer to program to edit back into what, you know what I mean? So that was pretty much it. And then I created my own DVD, which hasn't been released, which is kind of like, I don't mean to like big myself up, but it's like the detox of the streetball world right now. Like people are hitting me up to this day about it. And it's ready. It's been ready. So, you know, things like that. And then doing like little basketball freestyle tricks and then like different angles and cutting it. I was just really into the look. And then, you know, with the music thing, I was like, it's the same shit. So I just kind of, you know, just started learning how to do it with the music shit. I took it as a challenge. I want to get better at everything. And then, like I said, the more you do, the better you get. So
that's really
cool.
And
I like having creative control of my own shit.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing it from that, you know, my experience with that is like growing up kind of in the BMX and downhill mountain biking community, like just my buddies there. Because I live in Vancouver now, but I'm from the mountains in Kamloops. And yeah, all my buddies were just downhill bikers, and every one of them would try and get me out there with the camera because I was like the computer guy. Yeah, and they tried to get me the hills so I could videotape them coming down these huge ass hills and then just trying to do a jump and crashing 500 times. I swear to God, these guys would break their whole bodies up just to get one good shot of them landing it.
Yeah.
And they would just sit there forever editing, forever editing the video. But a ton of my buddies got in magazines doing that. And I mean, that it pays off, right? It gets you across the board. And
that's the thing too, is like, I wanted to eliminate having the computer guy waiting on his time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like getting that guy out. Yeah. You can't always be there, and then they get frustrated. And so that's why I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to be the computer guy. Same thing with the studio. I didn't want to have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for some half-ass shit. So let me go and learn it. Let me invest. Let me get a mic, speakers, computer, everything. So it's kind of just like I want to be that one-stop shop. You know what I mean? And look at the doors it's open. I got fucking Canadian legend like Mad Child being like, yo, you're dope. I need you to do my album. And it's like, in no way, shape, or form would I have had the confidence to be like, yo, I'm good enough to do your album. But it just worked out like that, where he heard me do a record for him. And it's just like, it just shows you, like, you fucking bust your ass and you go in the right direction, opportunities open. You know what I'm saying? So
they come. Yeah. And the thing is, opportunities, they don't come every day. When they land in your lap, you got to take them like this, pretty much like this right here. When you said, yes, I would do the podcast, I jumped on. I was like, all right, when? Tonight? Can we get it? And it's like, all right, I'm available now. Okay, let's do it. You just got you jump on things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you can do something, do it. That's actually one of the biggest things in that book I recommended you, is just do it. Don't like abrasively jump into things without planning. but make sure you do plan something. You don't just let it become a thought or a dream.
Exactly.
A goal and accomplish it.
Have you seen Jay-Z's Black album or Fade to Black, whatever that documentary is called? And that's what they say. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, I got people saying, "Oh, you're so lucky you're doing this project." No, I was just prepared, and then when it came, I was ready. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, you gotta know that the opportunity will present itself. No matter what, opportunities will come. As long as you put yourself on the path, they're gonna be there.
Manifestation, it's a big thing.
You just got to get on the path, and whatever you want to do, you do it. You got to do it. Get on the path and get there.
Yeah.
As long as you don't give up, you'll get there.
That's like Pac. He said, "Real ones do what they want to do. Bitches do what they can do." You know what I mean? So you just do what you want. Do what you want in a humble way, but do what the fuck you want. You only have 24 hours in a day. I was watching this video showing the math on everything, and they're like, "Dude, you're only really living this much of your 70-year life or whatever." And it's just like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? Like, 9-to-5s are cool. I get it. But I just look at that as slavery. Like, I've created my own avenues of revenue and like businesses, and I employ people and I hire people and I help pay their bills off of their work. And it's just like, to me, that makes me feel, not like I'm a controlling freak and I want to be this godlike person. Yeah, but it's like, if I can't create shit for other people, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean?
It's super inspiring, man. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I want to be successful. And I think that's the route, is to be independent. And some people, they can get to the point where they're independent immediately in life, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And some people, they have to work that 9-to-5 until they can get independent, and that's beautiful too, because that's their goal. But I think what's really, really an ugly thing in this world is when people give up and they kind of succumb to the 9-to-5 and they say, this is going to be my life forever.
And then if you had a chance to look at it from like a higher power aspect, I bet you they weren't that far from being where they wanted to be. You know what I mean? Like, that picture on Instagram where they're digging for diamonds and this guy finds a little one and the other guy gives up. There's this big one under the dirt. It's like, that shit will haunt me I can't quit anything because that will haunt me forever. Just seeing that picture.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, we're running out of time here. I like to keep these short anyways.
No worries.
Because podcast is in its early stages, but now that we've had you once, I'm sure we'll have you back again.
Anytime.
Thanks for coming to the Underground Podcast, brother. If there's anything else you would love to say, please just say it now.
Everybody, man, go check out Young JJ. The videos on YouTube, and make sure you support BC Underground Hip Hop. It's a real thing. It's a real movement, and love overpowers the hate by twos, baby.
That's what's up, player.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.